We are here and we have made it to the last day of 2023. And if you are watching this video, then that means it is cause to celebrate because you are here right with me. And for that, I am grateful. And while we're on the topic of a new year, I would really love to know, what are your goals for 2024? Are you just starting out on your journey of maybe establishing a business for the first time? Or maybe you're already really successful in your business, but this is the year to expand and introduce something new. Whatever your goals are, let's celebrate together and manifest success for 2024. Okay, so you can't have a celebration without the decorations. And for this look, I'm going with an oldie but goodie, our classic chrome silver over some 2024 marquee numbers. So I'll be using some chrome mylar foil balloons as well as these Kalisan Mirror Silver balloons. My goal was to create something a little bit dynamic. So we already have our really bold silver, it's very reflective and stands out, but I also wanted to do a little bit of depth and a variety of texture, height, and lighting. And I'm gonna do this several different ways, as you'll see. I started by filling out my corner over here because I wanted it to look like the balloons were kind of coming down and cascading out of this corner and almost spilling onto the floor in front of it. And to do this, I needed a wider base using more 18-inch balloons at the bottom and smaller 11-inch balloons kind of to have that tapered look at the top. So to add diversity in the texture, I decided to pair these foil balloons with the latex to kind of create some variance in the final appearance. These foil balloons I got from Amazon were trash, so I'm not even gonna link them below. Instead, I'm gonna link this other brand that I use that I really like, but these were terrible. They had holes in them, they were deflating, they had these rough edges, as you can see, they were terrible. But I had to make them work because that was all that I had. And as you see, I'm tying them in, just pairing them with a quad on the other end of a 260 to kind of lock it in place. And I'll shift it around a little bit to see which look or which placement ends up looking the best. So I wanted to match the bottom corner by filling out the top corner right above it. And I made the mistake of using painter's tape with this command hook. And let me just tell you, it didn't hold. I think it's because this was like some cheap painter's tape that I had, but it ended up falling and I ended up using the command adhesive instead. And if you work with command strips, then you already know that they're the best. So once I put the command adhesive on, it worked out perfectly. I made my top corner balloons using 4 clusters, essentially opposite of the clusters below, with the tapered end being at the bottom and it widening out toward the top. And you'll see I have those 5 inches at the tip, followed by some 11 inches blown up to about 9 inches, followed by clusters of 11 inches, and then toward the very end, it's a cluster of 11 and 18 inch. And as you can see, I didn't quite do the monochromatic look. I instead snuck in these Gemar Prosecco balloons because I think the color is so beautiful. And when I paired it with the chrome silver, it was like it just gave me that nice little break in the color scheme that I was looking for. Remember I said I wanted to make this kind of look have multiple layers of visual interest, and I just felt like this Prosecco broke it up in just the right way. Not too much, not too little. I took care of the corners. Now I wanted my third mini garland to be right dead in the center of the 2024. And this consists of 4 clusters of 6 of varying sizes between 11 and 18 inches. Now on the right side, I wanted to do a little something different. I wanted to have this mini garland kind of dripping off the edge of the 4 of the 2024. So I used the same technique of tapering the ends and just shifted and shaped the clusters in the garland until it fit the corner of the 4 and created that look. To mirror my left side, I took my last semi-larger garland and suspended it from the ceiling of the right side. You know, I didn't have that corner, so instead I attached it to the ceiling so it still had that look similar to the left. However, it's completely isolated and stands by itself. And I did this using fishing line, of course. Now it's time to add in my foil balloons, and I'm using silver orbs, 4-point stars, and 12-point starburst. But not in the way you might think. I really wanted the orbs to suspend from the ceiling, almost like an old school disco ball look. So to do that, I used my fishing line, just tied them to that little hole at the end and attached them to the ceiling at various heights. I used any leftover orbs I had to fill out the base, again using that anchor method with the quad on the other end. And here's where I also added in my star foil balloons. And the idea was to have something opposite of round, something pointy, sharp, abrasive, something to just really stand out and kind of just catch the eye, you know? And I did that by keeping the 12-point stars separated and having the individual points stick out, kind of like shards of glass or something, because it already has a reflective look. So just That's the inspiration for that, and the same with my mini 4-point stars. To light the whole thing up, I used these LED rope lights. This brand was decent. They were good. They were pretty flexible, and I like that they were RGB, so they can turn any color that you want, and you can shape them to have various looks. Now these lights, they have a little bit of weight to them, so if you're gonna do any type of suspended look or anything like that, you wanna make sure that they're anchored on really well, because if not, that extra weight on the balloons can make them fall down or make something disconnect from your anchor point. And this is the part where you can really get creative, because you can bend and wrap these lights in any way you want. You can spell something out with them in cursive letters. You can mold them around the balloons. I mean, I think that the ideas or the opportunities are endless. Just use your creative vision. And my friends, when it was all said and done, this was the final look. Our 2024 Silver and Prosecco focal point display. And as I reflect back on this look and I think about 2024, I ponder my own goals for the future. When I first started this journey, I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to go, and to be honest, I still have a lot more to figure out. And I feel like that's the same for everybody. I mean, anytime you're doing something creative, you're putting all of yourself into something, you're trying to create a business off of that, and then you're also trying to get people to buy into what you're doing. And that in itself can be a challenge, but it can also be very rewarding. So if you watch this today, whether it's strictly because you enjoy the entertainment of watching people create, you're looking for inspiration for an event coming up for yourself, or you want to grow into a creative entrepreneur, just know I appreciate you being here. In 2024, I wish you endless success, abundance, and everything you need to achieve your goals and heart's desires. And as I sign off to the end of 2023, I want to say thank you for watching. Happy New Year. And as always, until next time, peace.